Hello, this is Uncle Jim. We have thunderstorms today, so I can't shoot. So I dug this out of the cold storage room, and this is a Tote Goat made right here in Provo, Utah, and it has a lot of meaning to me. I bought this in Washington, and it's from 1958 to about 1961. And you should see how they used to test these things. These are built like a tank, and they used to put them on a little bar and run them for weeks and weeks. Maybe I can show you that video. And they really tough tested these things. They're tanks. They will climb a cliff. And so I had to bring this to Utah because it's from Utah, and it's sentimental because it's the same age I am, and it was made where I was born. So hey, I'm kind of excited to bring this out today, and I get to go through it. All right, so originally they had a Briggs and Stratton, and for some reason I put a 4-horse Tecumseh on there. And the way it's geared, that's no problem. This will climb a cliff. So not sure. I think I'll just run it with this engine for now, and then maybe put the authentic engine in there. On the front here is 2 screw holes, and that's where the emblem plate goes, and I can get a reproduction Tote Goat plate on eBay. All right, so I don't have to do much to it. It was powder coated, and this is how I bought it in Washington. And it's really cool, and it's very comfortable. Now, I got to decide on a few things. I have these grips that are really soft and comfy. However, I should put the original grips back on there. One of them is cracked, but I can fix it. Okay, and then this plate here goes under the seats. The seats are mint, they were redone. And I have the screen that covers this back compartment, so sticks and things like that when you're up hunting. This is a hunting bike. Doesn't get all caught up in your chains and sprockets. So that's what this is for, and it's all powder coated and mint. That's how I got it. It's got a kickstand here, and this thing is a tank. All right, so I got the extra seat here, and I have 2 deer mounts that can go on the back instead of the seat, and I got to figure out what I want to do. This is a fixed one, and my other one folds up, and that's for putting deer after you're hunting up in the mountains on a Tote Goat. Okay, you can see the rear tire is made for going anywhere. And here, I'll show you what the seat looks like. Okay, so the seat would go kind of like that, back to back. And I like that because you can sit back on it and do wheelies. This thing will do wheelies all day long. So I got to figure out how authentic I want to make it. I have Briggs and Stratton engines, but right now this Tecumseh 4-horse instead of a 5-horse Briggs actually looks good in it. It looks like it was meant to be. But what I remember before we moved, this carburetor was hard to start. It took a lot of pulls. But luckily, Dad was a hoarder, and I had a brand new carburetor that actually fits it. And it was only like $20-something. So I'll probably put that on so we can start it quickly. And then here is the back brake. Now look at how goofy this is. Let me take the back seat off. Okay, so all this is like a fan belt on a piece of metal. and it goes on this bracket right here. And this squeezes down, and that's your brake. And you would think, oh, that's not going to work very well, but all your torque is up here because you're going from this to that to this, and if you even touch this, it's going to stop. So my issue was when I was in the city, I put a smaller sprocket right here, and I'm going to take that off and put it back on the bigger sprocket so I can get to the brake mount again. Right now it's a little over. Okay, so these came with a special torque converter. When you let off the gas, it slows down the bike. So if you're going down a hill, let off the gas and it's gonna shut her down. It's gonna slow down. And you can see how this is geared. It goes up here, then it goes to here, and then it goes over here. And like I said, it's built like a tank. Now, when I was in the city, I wanted to go faster, so I put a smaller sprocket here, but we're going to grind that off and put it back over here so I can use the original rear brake. And I might do that today since it's going to be thundering and all that. All right, so the front has a front brake, but it doesn't work all that well. It either drags or not enough brake. But on these things, the way the engine slows down when you let off the gas, you really don't need much braking. So I'm going to concentrate on the rear, and then maybe I'll do this disc brake and adjust it just right. I think it was aftermarket. All right, we got the old school tires on there. And you gotta love these. These will go anywhere. All right, I'm pretty excited because after bringing it out in the garage, I realized I really don't have much to do unless I change the engine, but I think I'll throw a carb on there. I got a plastic gas tank, so no rust. Everything was drained when I moved, so I gotta fill it with oil, put the new carb on, and see how she runs. It should climb up my driveway like no tomorrow. And when I go to the post office, everyone's gonna huddle around it and say, I had one of those when I was a kid. And I got everything that goes with it. So I'm kind of excited about this. I might be able to drive this up in the mountains in my backyard. When legal, I gotta put a spark arrestor on the exhaust. Okay, everything on here was welded on, so you can't slip your sprocket around and all that stuff. I had a cheap Harbor Freight welder at the time. When I put this on, I cut a sprocket in half and put that on and welded the two sides together. And it worked great. I could still do wheelies, but I could go faster. But now we're going to go back to the lower gear here. And so I'm going to take this off and eliminate that sprocket so I can get the brake right. Now, if you don't want to use a link on your chain, let's see if I can find a link here. Okay, so that's a link, so you can easily take your chain off, but that's not the right way to go because it's a weak link. And so what you do is use a chain tool. For guys that don't know, and you can put this on the chain and remove a link and put it back, and it's strong. You don't have a weak link on your chain. All right, the rain is coming. I got to bring this inside. Flip up foot pegs in case you hit rocks or trees. They thought of everything. Okay, fold up kickstand that slides up and hooks right here, so you can run it without it touching the ground. They thought of everything. Okay, so these were made for men. It wasn't a mini bike, but it was big enough for men and small enough to get in the really tight trails up in the mountains and put a deer on the back, and that's why they made these. They're really cool. They're talk about like a medium bike that can climb a cliff, and no batteries like a dirt bike, none of that stuff. Super easy, easy to work on, super simple. And I like that. Keep it simple, stupid. And so, what do you guys think? Should I put the dual seats on it or the deer rack? Original grips. These levers aren't original. The ones that came with it are kind of rusty. I might keep those on because they're black. I don't know. I got to put the original emblem on there. And I think it'll be fun to go into town with this. Go to the gas station, post office, grocery store. And people are going to say, you know what? I had one of these when I was a kid. And it's kind of like a classic car, but even better. People smile every time they see them, and you definitely smile every time you ride one. All right, I got thunder right now, and it's starting to rain, so I'm going to bring it inside, change the car, put oil in it, put gas in it, and the next video will be riding it. And then maybe I'll try and ride it up the backyard, which is brutal. Most things can't do that, but this can. That's why it was made that way. Until next time, thanks for watching.